but like it is, I think, a reasonable, interesting feature that probably could have cost a 5th level spell slot, right? Or probably could have had different modality that make it a bit more interesting. Give me one use of pass wall and this thing, right? Maybe it doesn't end if I end in a wall instead, right? Maybe I can be in a wall for up to a minute or something. Let me actually like explore with this thing a little bit more. It being restrained to those probably to its benefit, it just probably should be lower level then, right? Like all
Yeah.
of the bells and knobs on this thing are just tweaked a little bit in the wrong direction for this thing to be powerful.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the spell Investiture of Stone.
I don't know. How do I look like the thing from Fantastic Four? I need bigger hands. I don't have bigger hands. This is one of those investiture spells that did not deserve to get reprinted, but it sure did. There's
Let's
6
do
level
it.
spells. Yeah. It's okay. 6 level spell, action cast time, range itself. This is for druid, sorcerers, warlocks, wizards. It's got a concentration in the last 10 minutes. Till the spell ends, bits of rock spread around your body, and you gain the following benefits. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks. You can use your action to create a small earthquake on the ground in a 15-foot radius around you. Other creatures on the ground make a dex saving throw or are knocked prone. You can move across difficult terrain made of earth and stone without expending extra movement. You can move through solid earth or stone as if it were air without destabilizing it, but you can't end your movement there. If you do so, you're ejected to the nearest occupied space till the spell ends, and you are stunned until the end of your next turn. Oh, I'm sorry. You're ejected to an unoccupied space, then the spell ends, then you're stunned.
Yes.
Of the lot, I think this is the best one. I think.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's got some neat things, but I am not thrilled about spending a 6th level spell on this.
Me neither. So, like, the immediate comparison I think this draws to is Stone Skin, which is a 4th level spell that gives you resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, piercing damage, and it lasts an hour, and it takes your concentration. So, like, if you were to do one of the two and only cared about that first mode, that is just near strictly better. As long as you can pay the
Yeah.
gold price, you're good to Stone Skin over this every single time. So, if you want to cast it, I do think you need to want that last mode.
Well,
You being able to
I don't
move,
like anything that's, uh, encouraging me to take damage in the first place and having concentration.
yeah, I largely am in that bucket as well. I think that a defensive option that will end as I take damage that has this high a cost and an action setup, it just all becomes very clunky. Like, I don't love going into fights with this thing up, especially if, A, if I don't know if I'm going to take hits, or B, if I know I am going to take hits, then I'm like, what, I'm either not going to use it or it's going to go away. Like, none of that sounds
Mm.
good to me. Um, and I don't actually think that's the real juice here. I don't think that's what makes this thing most interesting. Honestly, I don't even think the action to knock things around you prone will come up close to ever. I think that probably could have been a bonus action. I would feel a little bit better about this, but like, you don't want to spend your action to knock things prone whenever you have 6 level slots, right?
No.
0 damage? They give 0 damage to that effect? They couldn't even give us like 46 or something? No, apparently not. I think the actual meat, like 99% of this spell's text that matters to me, is the last mode. You can move through difficult terrain made of earth or stone without expending extra movement, but more importantly, you can move through solid earth or stone as if it was air without destabilizing it. That, to me, has a lot of potential as far as investigation exploration goes, right? So if you compare this to etherealness, which lets you sort of just go through it for 8 hours, this lets you move through earth if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact ruling. Because it's a May, I'm assuming like you get to choose how far you sink into it and stuff like that, and like what ones you opt to exist and what ones you opt to treat as air. I'm assuming you get to like freely navigate through Earth using your movement in all 3 dimensions. In that perspective, if you know you can get to certain places in a single dash, you can use this to walk through walls. You can use this as a really decent infiltration tool, a full level or full 3 levels earlier than etherealness, right? And that
Right.
doesn't seem awful to me.
But then again, Pass Wall is a 5th level spell.
Yeah, but that only affects
And
one wall, right? That's
yeah.
the difference, is you
I
make a
mean, how
hole in
many
a wall.
walls are you trying to go through?
Probably not enough to justify this overpass wall.
Yeah.
But I could see there being a window where that isn't necessarily true, right? Having this up for 10 minutes in a dungeon does just kind of let you pop through the front wall, see what's in. If you do get shot at, you get a little bit of the resistance help there, right? You come back through the wall, you let the party know what's on the other side of it. And then you can keep doing that over and over and over again, conceivably, right? You can keep checking through quarters, checking, like poke your head through somewhere. As long as you can get in and out of the wall before the turn ends, you're good to sort of scout around in like basically a 30-foot radius sphere of all surfaces. Like if someone can give you a boost, you can climb into the ceiling. You could just go up, see what's above you, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I love the look of like someone's head just popping through a wall, being like, and then like diving back through. That's a really good time, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, no, I was gonna say if you got levitate going on at the same time, but that's gonna take your concentration.
If someone else levitates you.
Yeah.
There you go. I think that last mode really is interesting enough that this isn't getting a 1. I do think you can't cast this for the rest of the modes, and I don't think that mode's going to come up enough at an average table that I'm going to give this above a 2. But, like, it is, I think, a reasonable, interesting feature that probably could have cost a 5th level spell slot, right? Or probably could have had different modality that make it a bit more interesting. Give me one use of pass wall and this thing, right? Maybe it doesn't end if I end in a wall instead, right? Maybe I can be in a wall for up to a minute or something. Let me actually like explore with this thing a little bit more. It being restrained to those probably to its benefit, it just probably should be lower level then, right? Like all of the bells and knobs on this thing are just tweaked a little bit in the wrong direction for this thing to be powerful.
Yeah, 2 sounds about right. It's interesting. I can't see me ever wanting to use it or getting excited about having it. But yeah, it's not 1 territory.
Yeah. I also think like at least this does the service of in the encounters against like earthen creatures, I do genuinely think this is decent compared to the other options that are just like, wow, against an ice dragon, this kind of sucks. That's kind of how I feel about a lot of the other investitures compared to this thing. But
Well, the thing is though, I mean, like, against like creatures and stuff that aren't using weapons, this only gives you resistance to non-magical weapons. Like,
non-magical attacks.
Huh?
It counts claws and stuff. It just says bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks.
It says weapons from what I'm looking at.
Oh, I'm looking at the on D&D Beyond, and it does say non-magical attacks, which might be errata.
Okay, well that bumps it up a little bit then. All right, well I'm looking at the Caverns Creatures website. That may need to be updated.
Yeah, one word. What's the difference? Who's going to notice? What's the last person that's read Investiture of Stone besides us?
The person who passed on it.
Yep, correct. I can envision there being a Dow Genie Warlock, for example, that wants this theme and fantasy coming to fruition, and this actually rewarding it in enough of a way that it won't be awful on them. So that's why it's more passable than the rest.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Investiture of Stone. Thank you, Sam, for being here, and thank you everyone for watching. Like, subscribe, leave some comments down in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.